ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So the Sakya that I'll be sharing with you today is of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Bhai Mardana Ji on their travels together. See how the dark clouds are coming. How beautiful the rising and spreading clouds look in the blue sky. The breeze has become cool. It's as if it's drunk all the warmth. And Bhai Mardana Ji turns to Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji and asks if they notice how the rainy season has arrived. This weather is too unpredictable to make long journeys in. It makes us tired. Somewhere the drinking water is clean, other places it's unclean. My beloved Guru Sahib, let's stay in one place for a while. Let's take this season as a message to rest. And I get tired really quickly myself. And for my sake, can we just stay in one place for a few days? And Guru Sahib listens to these loving and caring words of Bhai Mardana Ji and agrees with them, but then takes a moment to explain. Those that live to serve have no rest, not even in this season. The postmen still deliver letters. Service of God isn't easy. Wherever He sends, we have to go. Wherever He asks us to do, we have to do. God takes us places to work. And Bhai Mardana Ji, still full of devotion, understands Guru Sahib's message. But then they go on to say that all of this travelling, this exhaustion has taken the strength from their body, and requests once more that they rest in just one place for a while. But this was a selfless cause. Guru Sahib knew that this was their dear friend's way of asking them to slow down and relax, just so they could regain their energy. Taking just a short rest meant that basic needs could be met, so they could eat on time and they could sleep on time. And so Guru Sahib agreed. So they settled on the outskirts of a nearby village, in a lush garden full of beautiful flowers and a hut that they could rest in. And the villagers quickly heard that a great saint would be staying there. And there was one devoted man named Jivan, and he was always very eager to meet great saints and do service of them. He had a deep thirst for this. And so he goes to have darshan of Guru Sahib. And on his journey there, he can hear the hymns of God, the kirtan being sung by Bhai Mardana Ji and carried in the wind. And the moment he sees Guru Sahib, he sees him in bhakti, in this deep meditation, and he sits on the ground. And it's like his eyes become enchanted and they close as he listens and experiences this kirtan deeply in his soul. And time passes very, very quickly, and eventually Jivan opens his eyes, not realizing exactly how much time has gone by. And so he goes back to his daily life and realizes that something has changed inside of him. So this thirst, this desire he felt towards God, felt a little bit more full after being in the Sangat of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And so after that, every few days, Jivan goes to see Guru Sahib. He takes food for him and he listens to the kirtan. And if for any reason he can't meet Guru Sahib and do seva of them, he decides that he won't eat either, or he won't drink either. And it's because his understanding was that if he couldn't do service of great saints, why was he worthy of serving himself before? So one day on the way to the garden, Jivan stops at a shop nearby to buy food from. And there's a grocer who owns the shop, and he's curious because he's noticing Jivan has been coming this way very often, and he doesn't usually cross this path. And so he asks Jivan why he's coming this way. And Jivan tells him about Guru Nanak Dev Ji, about this great saint that's come to the village. And the grocer decides that he'll go along with him that day. So they begin to make their journey. But on the way, they come across two paths. One leads to the garden where Guru Nanak Dev Ji is, and the other one leads towards a village. And in this village, there's a house of prostitutes. As they continue walking, the grocer becomes distracted by a prostitute walking past him. And he thinks to himself, oh, I want to go towards this woman, But he remembers that he's already promised Jeevan that he'll go with him to see Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji that day. And so he goes along with him and continues on that journey, continues on that path leading towards the Guru. They greet Guru Sahib, and even the grocer is admiring this magnificent being in front of him. But his mind is still distracted, thinking of this woman. Even when the kirtan is being sung, he doesn't feel completely at peace. So he's experiencing pleasure thinking about the kirtan, but also about the woman that he saw earlier as well. So after this day, Jeevan continues to feel this tremendous pull towards the road that leads to the Guru. And the grocer continues to feel this tremendous pull towards the road that leads to the prostitute. Jeevan tries and tries and tries again and again to convince the grocer to go with him to see Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And now he's developed such a loving and strong relationship with Guru Sahib. He's even staying there overnight so he can continue doing seva and listen to morning Nityanam with Guru Sahib. The grocer and Jeevan regularly cross paths. And one day the grocer says to Jeevan, "Okay, so you're going to see Guru Sahib for your enjoyment, and I'm going to the prostitute for my enjoyment. Whichever one of us returns back first should wait under this tree for the other and think about what we've lost and what we've gained, and then we'll see who's actually won and who's actually lost." But not a single doubt enters Jeevan's mind. He tells the grocer that there's no loss in the path of God. It can only be gain, whereas the grocer's path is all loss in health, respect, and mind. So the two of them go their separate ways. Jeevan continues to soak in all of the glory of the divine hymns of God. His mind cleanses and he becomes relaxed and fulfilled. The grocer, on the other hand, goes to the house and finds out that the woman has gone elsewhere that day. So he's feeling a bit disheartened, but still makes his way to the fig tree as promised. And here he begins to reflect. But after some time, he gets very restless waiting for Jeevan, and he starts picking at the earth. And eventually he starts digging at the earth. This is how bored and restless he's getting. And as he digs into the earth, he finds a gold coin. And seeing this gold coin, he's ecstatic. He's so happy to find a gold coin as he's digging into the earth. And then greed gets the better of him, so he takes a knife from his pocket and he continues to dig under and under in hopes of finding more. And eventually, he comes across a pot, and he takes the pot from the earth, takes the lid off, and finds that this pot is full of coal, not gold coins. So by this point, Jeevan has arrived at the fig tree. But on his journey back from Guru Nanak Dev Ji, a sharp thorn has pierced into the bottom of his foot. He tells the grocer that he tried to pull the thorn from his foot, but a piece of it still got stuck in there. So the two men sit down next to each other and talk. The grocer, full of greed and ego, says to Jeevan, "Today I found a gold coin. You got a thorn in your foot. You go to see God, and this is what you get given." But Jeevan, with his humble and kind nature, says that the only way this debate will be settled is if they go to ask Guru Sahib directly. And so the grocer agrees. They reach the hut, and the grocer tells Guru Sahib the entire story. And he asks them, how can the fruit of evil doing be a gold coin? And Guru Sahib touches the head of the grocer, and he shares with him that the fruit of his evil doing isn't a gold coin. The storm of his evil has shaken his tree of gold coins, but they've all blown away, and only one remains. So the pot of coal was an entire pot of gold coins. In the past, the grocer had donated 1 gold coin to a saint, which had become 100 gold coins. But through his bad deeds, the purity of the gold coins had reduced to coal. And that 1 gold coin that was found was a gold coin that had taken him to Guru Sahib that day. But for Jeevan, listening, meditating, singing the Lord's praises have burnt his sins. His bad deeds from his past life were so bad, he deserved nothing but pain and suffering. But through this relationship that he'd formed with God, these bad deeds became so small that they came to him through a small prick in the foot. and he was saved from truly suffering. As the grocer followed the path of bad deeds, his lust had increased. And Jivan, on the path of goodness, his thirst for service and kindness had increased. When we are truly on the path of God, only godly desires follow. These words flew into the heart of the grocer, and he fell at Guru Sahib's feet. Teach me to do good and stop me from doing bad. I don't have that strength in me. Only you can do that. And together, they sung the praises of God. The sensation of peace fulfilled both Jivan and the grocer. The name of God reached deeply into each one of them through body, mind, and heart. They became true disciples of Guru Sahib. So Naam washes the negative desires of the mind and washes the dirt that we have. The soul becomes crystal. That same Naam becomes nectar and gives bliss to the mind and soul. So Gurbani tells us, Har ka marga patat puneet. So on the Guru's path, many sinners are saved. Guru Sahib placed the grocer on the road that leads to God, and many of his sins vanished. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.